Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and today we are going to be jumping into the brand new Rostov Oblast region in Season 5 for the very first time on the launch build of the game, or I should say the public build of the game rather than the public test server. Now, this update is available on all systems to those that have the Year 2 pass, or you can get it separately. Now, what we're going to be using here is we're going to be using a basically fully upgraded, fully lifted, built Dawn, and I felt that it would be fitting for our first little adventure into the campaign region of Rostov Oblast. Now, what I'm going to be going over in this video is some of the first things that I recommend doing to go ahead and give yourself an advantage, and also some things that you can do to basically make your time out here in this new region just a little bit easier. So, one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to go to the teleport point for the other map, so you guys have access to both maps, and I'm going to be showing you guys some of the bridges that I recommend building right off the bat as well. So let's fire up our Dawn, let's do a little bit of exploring. It's honestly really interesting, like, firing this thing up for the first time in quite a while, because it really does take me back to using it in some of the very first regions in the game. Now, when you leave the garage, you'll head right to the main road, and you'll notice a flatbed trailer or a sideboard trailer basically just kind of tipped over right there in the marsh. And it's one of those trailers where I'm not quite sure why it's there, but I'm sure you can use it for just about whatever task you might want. Now, if you head down here to the left, you'll see that, whoa, it actually gets a little bit gnarly right off the bat. Now, there is a task right here behind some of these houses, but personally, I recommend getting this bridge built as soon as you possibly can. Now, the rural bridge task requires, let's see, solely a tool trailer. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to deliver is a tool trailer. And what you can actually do in order to get that tool trailer to this particular bridge pretty easily is you can venture through this muddy road right here that takes you through the river. Although I do recommend going through there with something that has a pretty big lift and pretty big tires. Otherwise, you do risk getting washed away. This is where you're going to find, well, I should say after you get over the train tracks, this is where you're going to find the teleport point to the second map. Now, the second map being the nature preserve, it's a little bit more kind of trail oriented, a little bit more rock oriented than this map. Wow, that's a pretty like distant winch point. I didn't figure it would connect to that already. All right, get you back up onto the road, and this should be unlocked and ready to go right off the bat. Now, if you want to go ahead and make your way out to the Antonovsky Nature Reserve, you can definitely do that right here from the get-go. And I'm going to go ahead and travel out there real quick just so you guys can get a little bit of an overview of what that map looks like. It is a beautiful flyover shot. You've got like some old school farm villages and stuff like that to look around. And honestly, it's definitely one of the coolest maps that I've seen from the campaign in a while. And I think for the environment that it provides, it's a really enjoyable scenic experience. Now, another huge element of this update is, of course, the two new Tatra trucks. Now, the Tatra Force, which is the larger, more classic style 8x8, the really rugged 8x8, you are going to find that one on the very first map. Now, there are a couple of prerequisites in order to be able to actually rescue it and drive it, but the location of the Tatra Force is right here in the scrapyard. You can see we've driven the IX3880 out here, but right here, behind these rocks, is the Tatra Force. Now, I highly recommend using an extremely strong crane to do this. A very, very strong crane is going to be necessary to get this vehicle out, but you'll also need to repair it and refuel it as per the task, the Sleeping Giant, in order to then be able to drive it, recover it, and add it to your garage. And I'll go ahead and zoom out so you guys can see the precise location of that truck right there relative to the garage, and of course, you will find the task for it down in this general area. Now let's talk about the Tatra Phoenix. Now, your journey to unlock the Tatra Phoenix may be a slight bit longer because you're going to have to do it out here on the Antonovsky Nature Reserve, and you will first need to complete Cunning Forester, and then once completed, Cunning Forester will unlock another task that will appear around here, and then once that task is unlocked and completed, you will then be able to repair and refuel, and then finally recover and claim the Tatra Phoenix for yourself. Now, once again, I'll zoom out and go ahead and let you guys know that this is the first task that you're going to need in your journey to unlock the Tatra Phoenix, and your second task will appear in this general area, as will the Tatra Phoenix itself, once again requiring to be repaired and refueled. Now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and go drive these two Tatra trucks. We'll briefly drive them, do a little bit of an overview of them, and see what they're like to drive. And now we have jumped over to the summer testing grounds, and as you can see, right in front of us, we have both the Tatra Phoenix and the Tatra Force. Now, even if you're not completely into these trucks, I definitely recommend giving them a try at least once or twice, especially in the campaign mode, as they are definitely, I would say, desirable additions to the garage, and also, they can be used really effectively as far as driving dynamics goes. Now, both of these, I would say, they're really good, but I probably prefer the Force over the Phoenix, although I do really like how the Phoenix looks. I think the Phoenix brings a really nice modern touch to the game. So let's go ahead and add just a couple of little touches to the Phoenix real quick. And I'm going to throw a high range gearbox in there. And let's do just a couple of different mods to it. Just a few. Very small amount. You can put a high saddle on the back, though, which is really, really nice. Really cool, especially for towing stuff through harsh environments. This is great for that, but you have to be aware of that long wheelbase from time to time. So I'm going to actually also scroll down and make sure that I can add... There we go. This, in my opinion, is where it really shines. This is what I really like to put on the back of the Phoenix, because I feel like as a fuel truck, it really just makes complete and total sense. And especially if you're playing in co-op with your friends, this fuel truck is gonna be a favorite of the party for sure, because nobody will ever be having a shortage of fuel with this truck around. Nobody. Not in any way, shape, or form. Now, seeing as we are right next to the bridge jump, it only makes sense that now that we've installed the high-range gearbox, you know, we have 8 gears, we've got a very powerful engine, we've got a super heavy fuel tank on the back, it makes sense that we're going to go ahead and send it. Now, I will also say, I do enjoy the interior of this truck. It's definitely going to be a good truck to play in interior view, if interior view is your thing. And I understand if interior view might not be everyone's cup of tea, but as far as, like, those of you that really enjoy the interior view, both the Force and the Phoenix, in my opinion, have really enjoyable interiors and are definitely nice places to be, especially if you plan on being there for an extended period of time. Let's see if we can cut this corner. Nope! Absolutely not. Yeah, you're definitely going to be looking for... Whoa! You're going to be looking for some wider turns with this thing for sure. And that's why I said that even though you do have access to the high saddle, I don't know if I would recommend towing like an 8 unit with this, because you're definitely going to be sacrificing some of that maneuverability. There's 7th gear. You going into 8th anytime soon? Yeet! Oh boy. Oh! You know, ironically enough, nothing is fully damaged out. It's just kind of sitting there. Now, for the Tatra Force. Now, the Force is basically about as rugged as an 8x8 can get. And you can put a fuel tank on the back of it if you'd like. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of going back and forth between a couple of different options for this truck. And I think I probably will go ahead and add the tank because, like, solely because of the fact that, well, actually, the towing platform. The towing platform is probably one of the coolest things that's happened to really any vehicle in this game for a long time. And the reason why I say that is because it seems as though the dev team has taken a little bit of a nod from the modding community and added a towing attachment. Now, I've done a video previously on how this towing attachment works, and if you want to go watch that video, it is available on my channel if you type in Tatra Force. But this thing, I would definitely recommend experimenting with that towing attachment just to see if you enjoy it and if you enjoy kind of how it functions in a general, in a general space. So let's fire this guy up and see if it ends up getting to the end of the bridge jump without completely flipping over. Now, I do wonder... Oh, that's interesting. They added a couple of new features to the towing attachment. That's really interesting. Come on! One thing about the Force is that it's nowhere near as fast as the Phoenix. The Phoenix definitely is a lot more highway suited, and I would say not even highway, but like even, smooth dirt roads, it's fine out there, but when the going gets really, really tough, really, really harsh, the Force is absolutely 100% where it's at. Absolutely. And it has the horn to back it up, too. And the horn, I mean, honestly, I feel like that horn might not sound all that convincing in a like an in-game sense, but I feel like if you heard that horn coming in real life, you'd probably be a lot more likely to get out of the way. All right, let's bring you around, and we'll get you up the bridge jump. Come on, if you can. I was gonna be like, bro, if a like random loose rock flips you over, I'm gonna be a little bit frustrated with both myself and the truck. Like, okay, come on. All right, boys, let's go. Bridge jump time, throwing it into neutral. Here we go. Not bad. Not bad. Picking up speed, and boom. It stayed so level, smashed into the other Tatra, and was only half damaged out on the suspension and barely damaged on the engine with no fuel tank damage whatsoever. Real quick before this video ends, I want to go ahead and take a moment to talk to you guys about patch notes and some of the things that the developers either updated or fixed with this particular patch. Now, the patch notes are going to start out with some really interesting things, actually. So in terms of mod-related fixes, they fixed a bug where players got missing mods messages each time when they tried to load a game save in which some of the mods were deactivated. Also improved the way the mod browser handles errors. Next up from that, they fixed a bug in the game editor where the borders of the zone for crafting were not displayed. Fixed a bug where the numbers were shown instead of the name of the mod map on the first load. That's one that I see all the time. The approximate amount of memory that a mod will take is now displayed at the dev panel on the polygon, which is the testing grounds. That's definitely a really interesting improvement for mod creators. They also added a hotkey for the dev panel hide function on the testing grounds, and supported custom pictures for custom cargo. That's amazing. Improved mod browser behavior on the console in order to better display estimated RAM for each mod. Added the ability to set up separate add-ons as able to pack truck, which is also another interesting addition. Now, in hard mode related fixes, they fixed a bug where fuel canisters were instantly replenished after purchasing another add-on in the garage. They also fixed a bug where the player was unable to change the metric system in the settings menu during the normal game right after exiting a hard mode game. Very oddly specific bug, but I'm glad they fixed it. Truck related bugs that were fixed were they fixed a bug where the legs of some heavy semi-trailers could get stuck in the ground after purchasing it for the Tatra 813. Fixed a bug where players were unable to attach a trailer that required a saddle when the saddle was not equipped on the Tatra 813. Tweaked the drive-up position for the Tatra 805. Fixed a bug where the rear wheels of trucks with articulated frames were displayed as not attached to frame after the save load. Fixed a bug where heavy crane was incorrectly mounted to Western Star 4964 in some cases. Fixed a bug where the Cat CT681 truck could not move if the suspension was completely broken and the suspension axle was lowered. Next up, they also fixed a bug where the fuel tank add-on collided with the fuel tank trailer on the ZIKZ 5368, improved back winch placement on the Tatra T813, improved gauge lights on the GMC Brigadier, fixed a bug where the hook of a heavy-duty bumper on the ANK MK38 was floating in the air, fixed a bug where cab reverse lights did not work for the Derry 4520, tweaked wheel offsets for the Con Sentinel, Steam fixes, proper support for native Steam invites, general fixes, fixed a bug where players were not able to load cement from quarry for the task Cement for the Region. Next up, they also fixed a bug where the turn on the engine on winch truck option disappeared if the C button was bound to another button. Fixed a bug where in some cases the selling of a medium log trailer did not give you any money back. Fixed a bug where cargo did not appear on the map if the client activated the task while the host was on another map. Fixed a bug where the turn on, turn off engine prompt displayed on the screen after entering and exiting the garage. Fixed a bug where garage sounds were played before loading was complete when player recovered to the garage from another level. Fixed a bug where in some cases items to deliver could be duplicated when the player restarted orbital velocity objective. Fixed a bug where too many cargoes were listed in the task description of for hard to reach places objective. Fixed a bug where location marker was not displayed for a BA-20 armored car during the Price of Victory contract. Fixed a bug where all-terrain tires got mud terrain written and mud terrain tires had all-terrain written on them. Fixed a bug where the number of the flattened tires on the mini-map was incorrect when all 4 wheels were fully damaged. Fixed a bug where players were unable to buy trailers if a car was packed on the platform of the truck. Fixed a bug where cargo could disappear during the packing and unpacking of cargo at a certain position of the trailer. Fixed a bug where model collector achievement was not unlocked for some players. Fixed a bug where it was possible to equip the seismic vibrator and metal detector at the same time on some vehicles. Fixed a bug where control scheme B didn't have a keybind for toggling the camera. Improved sounds playback for nearby trucks. And finally, fixed a bug where the final cutscene of Liftoff did not work properly on the PlayStation platform. And that is going to do it for the patch notes of Phase 5. These trucks are very, very, very strong and will definitely hold up to many, many yeets. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed this video and also enjoyed this overview of everything that you need to do right off the bat when you start Phase 5. And if you're new around here and would like to see more, make sure that you let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on, and I will see y'all next time.